Activate party mode.
A-firm, party mode engaged.
Hello and welcome to Party Mode, the F1 podcast with no limits. I'm Jethro Bovingdon and I'm joined by my good friends Matthew Collins and Charlie Curtis. And this week there's been no racing, but Max Verstappen has been back to school and we are excited about the Azerbaijan Grand Prix because Baku always serves up some mega racing. So boys, you excited about this one?
Yeah,
I
really.
like this. Going back to a street circuit, which will be fun. Kind of see how everyone shakes out.
Yeah, I just had a quick look at the highlights and there were some funny things. Firstly, Perez outqualified Max, which let's not put any money on Tsunoda doing that to Max this year. Norris had a nightmare, went out in Q1, but recovered to a decent race drive. And Sainz and Perez had a fantastic crash one lap from the end and Piastri won. So looks good for Piastri, but you never know. Maybe Red Bull's resurgence will continue.
Mm-hmm.
I hope Max stays up there and keeps him working.
Yeah, this is like a vicious track. This is where Leclerc went into like the castle corner where like you just have to like thread the needle there and like
it's so cool, that little castle.
It's so cool. And every corner is so tough. Like to not hit a wall here is like anytime I do a race of like 5 laps or more on the sim, I hit a wall at some point and everyone hits a wall. And it's the same in a race. There's going to be yellow flags. There's going to be red flags. It's going to for sure be entertaining.
Yeah, it's cool. But Max has got a lot of practice around a tricky track, hasn't he? Because he's just passed his license and raced at the Nürburgring. And it's pretty amazing that he actually raced in a much lower category than the top cars to get his license. Most F1 drivers you'd think would be like, come on, guys, I don't need to do this. But he seemed to accept it and really revel in it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, and wasn't he, I don't know how it translates there, but it said like he was 15 seconds off the fastest guys in the different car class. Even though he was lower, he was still reasonably close.
Yeah, I think so. So basically, he was in a Porsche Cayman GT4, basically. But when you're a novice, I think it's called the Cup 3 category, you get like 100 horsepower less or 120 horsepower less than the top guys. He was, some little way off the fastest of those cars, but he was 25 seconds a lap or something quicker than the guys in the similar class. But that does sound impressive, and he is a deeply impressive guy. But these guys could literally be amateurs, because if you're racing in that GT4 category, you could literally be like, I've raced in that category, for example, and I would expect Max to be quite a lot quicker. But it did amuse me.
And it's a long track. It's a long track.
Yeah,
it's like, what is it for a lap time? It's like almost 12 minutes.
Yeah, it would be 10 minutes something. So it's they change it from, so the NLS is the shorter races, and then the Crown and Glory is like the 24-hour race. So they have slightly different tracks because they combine the old circuit, which is 12.9 miles, with the new circuit, but there are 2 configurations. But it did crack me up that he had to do that in order to get a license that I've already got. So I was like, for a little minute there, I had a license category above Max, which was pretty cool.
I thought I read too that he had to go to like a special committee because he didn't complete a lap in 2 different cars. There was some technical difficulty or something. So he had to go to a special committee to get approved, which I thought was just, it's funny. It's like someone has to give him his license. I don't know. It seems ridiculous, but
it is. Yeah, I believe he did the 14 laps necessary, but he was going to he was in 2 different cars, so it would like fast forward his license process. But funnily enough, they let the best driver in the world off. So,
sure, he was never too worried about it.
But it's just, I mean, what a dude. I just can't think of another F1 driver who would do that. And if you speak, even I've heard other F1 drivers talk about it. They're like, no, not the Nürburgring, too dangerous, too hard to learn, too unpredictable. And he just goes and does it. So
on an off weekend. Not even the off season, just the off weekend.
Yeah. And fair play to Red Bull, actually, for letting him do it as well. I guess he's got a very strong hand at Red Bull, but I can't imagine if George Russell was like, yeah, I'm going to go and race around the ring, that Merck could be like, yeah, sure, go for it.
I bet they know they have to keep Max engaged. They got to keep him involved in racing and having fun and doing stuff. So like, yeah, go ahead. And if that's exciting for you, go do it and come back to us excited and ready to go.
No, I thought it was awesome. I was very pleased to read that. But Matt, tell us about your week. Have you been doing Emmy stuff? I keep seeing Emmy stuff all over Instagram.
That's what it was. It was like I had a 12-hour day of styling on Saturday. So you get booked, like I had booked and I was supposed to finish and start the person at the same time, but it's a 20-minute drive. So it gives you so much anxiety. Like I prep the valet guy and I'm like, I need to leave at this time. Can you do it? I'll tip you extra, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah. And then I show up and on the ticket, it says text to have your car pulled up. I do it. And they're like, yeah, we don't normally do that. And I'm like, but it says on the ticket. And then I was like, if you go get my car quick, I'll give you an extra 20. And nothing happened. And then I see the guy yell at the guy, be like, you need to get this car ASAP. And I watch him walk so slowly down the driveway. It made me so mad. And then he gets out, like stays in my car after he pulls up. I've never been so furious. And then I got in my car and the whole time I felt like I was in a race simulator. I was speeding so fast, ripping through Sunset, just weaving in and out of cars. And the whole time I'm just like, literally feel like I'm in an F1 race because I am driving rough. But it's a fun, windy road. It literally feels like an actual street circuit driving down Sunset where I was going. It was kind of fun. And I made it. I was scheduled to get there 15 minutes late and I got there 2 minutes early. So I felt real good about myself.
So how does it work? Do you have like a appointment consultation where you talk about what you're going to do and stuff? How does it all work?
Yeah, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. It all depends on the team. Like I was working with an actress from the UK, and for like a week, it was like a lot of people on a text feed sharing inspiration, doing things, and then another person was like, "This is the dress. I think we're thinking up," and I showed up, and I had normally 2 hours, and she needed to leave early for the red carpet, so I was only given an hour and 15. And it was my first time meeting her, so I show up with less time ever and had to be done so fast. But all my clients were so wonderful this weekend, like not just good, but like awesome, like good hangs. Like I was with the girl for Friday and Saturday who's the lead of this new Alien series. So I don't know, I'm now fascinated and probably going to watch Alien, and she's the coolest girl too. She's like so rad. She's got these little short bangs. Her dad's Kyle Chandler from Friday Night Lights, everyone's favorite dad. So yeah, I just had a really good weekend, but it was crazy, and I feel like I've done nothing but style hair for the last 4 days.
And did you tell them that you were really good at picking P10, but not so good with a winner?
I always tell them. They all know.
Did any of them win an award? Did you get the joy of seeing your
No.
Up there?
No, they didn't win because like the people that I was with were with slow horses and shrinking. So I don't think they might have won like a non-big award. But like the ones that on TV that I saw, I stopped watching with about like 20 minutes left. But yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
But it was pretty funny watching it because Nate Bargatze, it was funny watching it because he did this bit where, did you see this at all about like the speech overages? So what he did is
the charity thing. Yeah, Laura was telling me about this.
It was pretty funny. Like he said, he gave them $100,000, and every second you go over your speech, he's going to give $1,000 less, and if you go under, you get $1,000 more. So I don't know what it ended up being, but it was kind of funny watching people go over, and then they'd almost have to say, "I'll pay the difference. Don't worry." Like it was just a pretty fun idea.
I mean, they did seem to try to shorten their speeches because of that, and they normally don't. Like some people, you can tell once the music comes on, they don't care. They're just gonna keep going. But it did seem like everyone was trying to rush off. Yeah.
The studio, I think, did the shortest speech ever. They went up and they're like, "Thanks, everyone. We're giving money back to the kids," and walked away.
Perfect. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, so probably gave them an extra $43,000 or something like that. I don't know. It was fun.
That's cool. That's cool. Well, I had a big day today because it was Ellie's first day at school. So A bit like
Ooh.
Max, she's been back. But actually, she did really well. Her mum was crying before we left the house, obviously, but and then continued to cry afterwards. And but Ellie was really good. She's thought about it. You know, we got there. She was cool. She was excited this morning, and then about 3 minutes before we were due to leave, she was like, "So you're just gonna go home?" And we were like, "Yeah, that's how it works."
Did you cry? Did you
I
cry?
didn't cry. No. I mean, I don't know. That's never really been a thing that would upset me. You know, I cry at a drop of a hat normally, but I was like, this is good for her. She's 5, right? So she's the oldest in her year. She's an old kid to be going to school. She needs it. Like, it gives us a couple of extra hours to get stuff done. Like, I'm quite happy about it. And as long as she didn't get upset, and she didn't, so yeah, all good. So yeah, school day, couldn't believe it. But yeah, Laura was very upset.
I saw a video a while ago talking about this, and like the parent trying to understand what it's like to think about your child for the first time navigating the world, like making friends without you being a part of it and all that stuff. And when I watched that, I got emotional because I was like, it's crazy. This person that you're doing everything for now is like, okay, go make a friend.
I know.
All right, go deal with life on your own for a bit, and I'll see you in a while. Like, it's not like a babysitter. It's like they're in a group of people. They're not getting 100% attention. It's fascinating.
Kids can be mean.
Yes.
So that's gonna happen at some point. But no, she did well. I was pretty relaxed about it, but also I literally got home. I was like told I have to be home from the States yesterday, so I was pretty jet lagged. So I was like, yeah, just go to school. Give us a few hours.
Yeah.
I need to sleep more.
Mm-hmm.
It is nice to have that break in the day.
Oh my God. Yeah. Big time.
Oh, and Charlie, and you took your kids on a train ride. Was it their first train ride or the first kind of like memorable train ride that they would remember?
They've been on like subways and things like that, like in New York. But first train, we went down. Erica was working in Oceanside in northern San Diego. And so we went down. We took the train Saturday to meet her and went to the beach on Saturday. Went to the hotel, went to dinner, and then yesterday went to the beach and drove back. So it was awesome. The train is so rad. I used to take it more and more. Yeah. Well, they thought it was fun. I mean, Ace doesn't want anything. He just wants to text his friends, and he could be anywhere if he has his phone. Whatever. But it was cool. Wilder liked it, and it's so easy. It's like we Ubered 15 minutes to the train station, got right on. Piece of cake.
Are the trains crazy money or not? In the UK, trains are just annoyingly expensive. So it becomes
are they? Yeah.
Thing.
I mean, we got like business class seats, and they were, I think I paid $90 total.
Oh my God, that's great.
And what's a business class seat like on that plane? Like what, I mean, the train, is it?
You get like, they had you can get all the waters and Diet Cokes and things that you want. They have a little snack box thing that the kids ate. And it's a little bigger. It's not much. It's just a little bigger, a little more room, I guess, for your feet. But that's one way, and it was like a 2-hour train. $90.
That's pretty good.
That's fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in the UK, if you book early in the UK, it's cheap. But like if I go to London, which is 50 minutes on the train, peak hours, it's like £90 return for me. And I'm like, no wonder no one goes on a train. Like I could drive in, park, pay congestion charge, and still be better off than catching the train. So
yeah,
I like the idea of trains, but the reality, certainly in the UK, sucks. Although they are good in Europe, I'll give them that.
Yeah, we've talked about doing it before. This worked out because Erica was already down there, and we didn't want 2 cars and all that. But so we only had to do one way. But it's kind of the same when we've looked at doing it, all 4 of us round trip. It gets to be like now it's close to $250 round trip. And it's like we could drive and have our car and all, and you got to Uber when you take the train and all that stuff. So it's not crazy expensive, but it's also not super, super cheap.
Okay, so Azerbaijan, should we talk about it? What do we think? What are we excited about? Is it going to just be Oscar v. Lando? I feel like Red Bull are going to be in the mix again. And Leclerc's got pole the past 4 years at Baku, so he's got to be in the mix again.
I really hope so. I think Max will be in it. These kind of technical street circuits feel like that's where he can really shine, and it's less about the car and more about the driver. And I think I hope he puts it in like third qualifying in qualifying so that he can create some chaos up there the first couple laps. But yeah, ultimately I think Piastri's got it.
Yeah, with a 1-2, McLaren wins the constructors championship.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna. It's like hundreds.
They're gonna win it anyway, so you might as well just do it now. Get it over with.
Yeah, it's hundreds of points. But I guess it's got that huge long straight. It's relatively low speed corners, so I guess it'll be like a low downforce type track as well. Which Monza, that's how Red Bull was so quick. Ferrari weren't. They were really good in practice and then sort of disappeared a bit, didn't they, in qualifying? So it could definitely be a three-way fight, which would be nice. We just haven't seen enough of them. But Lando's just got to be on the right side of it, hasn't he? And try and be near the front and keep this going.
Yeah.
And he's got to keep it out of the wall. I mean, I think that's the less his performance and more just he's willing to battle at all times. And that is great, but it also could cost you, especially when it's probably going to be Max he's battling. And he's the same. He doesn't care.
Mm-hmm. And it's the same kind of corners as Monza, but there's no runoff. The runoff is the wall. There's no space to go two into a corner. You have to outbrake, and then someone has to give up position. So that's what's so fun about this track is those corners are crazy.
And it's just an awesome city, isn't it? This sounds incredibly ignorant, but when you first hear there's going to be an Azerbaijan Grand Prix, I did not like Baku looks unbelievably cool. Like I'd love to go and visit. It looks amazing. Yeah. Totally not what I expected anyway, but yeah, it seems just like a pretty rad place to go.
Yeah, it seems cool. And that castle, that is like my favorite part of the whole season is when they go up that little S around the castle. It's just, I don't know. It seems so old and like a cool place to watch a race. And there's all the apartments everywhere. People are just standing on their balconies, and I don't know. It's a cool track.
So we know who needs a good weekend, but I feel like there's jeopardy, like you say, because it's so easy to crash there. So who really needs a clean weekend to sort of rescue or at least keep their season afloat? I feel like Antonelli needs to not crash. I feel like Tsunoda needs a result.
Sainz needs to keep it out of the wall, and I don't think he's going to. I don't think he's going to, but he needs it. Did you see he got his penalty overturned?
Yeah,
from the Dutch GP, which that's kind of surprising.
Which he just gets his points taken off his license, that's really it. There's no further advantage, but I'm sure he's happy. But it's still got to be more frustrating because it's like, well, fuck, this would have been more helpful a week ago.
Yeah.
It did ruin the race, but it's good that they will at least admit some sort of mistake because so often these bodies are like, well, we can't show any weakness, and they don't do that. So I was quite pleased about that. Maybe it will make it a little bit more sensible in the future. But it's just the problem is they've got all these written guidelines about a sport that has so many variables that you can't really write all the rules down. It really needs to be much more down to experienced stewards to make decisions because there's like 50 different lines through a corner, and there's, if you're on the outside, the inside, there's all these different dynamics happening in real time, and they're trying to then look at a piece of paper with some weird rule about a wheel being equal with a wing mirror or whatever. It's just stupid. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it does seem like they would just have really experienced people reviewing it, and they can look at the telemetry and see if when they braked or if they didn't brake at all. And then they just make a judgment call. Like, could he have done anything different? Or that's just how it played out. And who cares where the wheels are, where everyone is on track. That seems like it'd be a more efficient way, but I don't know.
I think there's so much money involved. I think they're worried about it having to have all this black and white stuff, but it doesn't really work. It's not like a football field where there's a line and if the ball goes over it, do you know what I mean? It's a more dynamic situation than that, and it's happening at such high speed. It doesn't really work. Okay, well, we can be brief this week, can't we? Because there hasn't been any race action, but there has been a lot of chat and pulp, etc. Matt, so what have you got for us?
We always talk about how like it feels like Williams is struggling this year. It just looks like that. It just doesn't seem like everything's going smooth. But I saw an interesting fact that they have more points this year than the previous 7 seasons combined.
Really?
So like it, when you look at it that way, you're like, oh, okay, you're not developing your car. You're working on next year. It was interesting. I was like, oh, they are doing way better than we're seeing them to do. Like, yes, I don't know. It was fascinating.
Well, they started so strong. That's the truth. They started really strongly, and then I think because science has been involved in so many incidents and accidents, it feels like the team's crumbling a bit. But I mean, if he doesn't score, Albon tends to be up in like 5th or 6th or whatever. So they're still accruing pretty good points, and they were just fast out the box. But they've definitely faded a bit. But like I
And
say,
the expectation too. Like the
Yeah.
expectation was Science was going to come in and be quick. Albon did good enough in the last couple seasons. They basically had one driver scoring points, in the past. And so I think the expectation was Science comes in and now they are a top tier team, or at least getting close to the top guys. And it just really hasn't worked like that. And so I think probably the expectation too makes it feel like they're not doing well.
And it's so tight, isn't it? You're talking a 1/10 of a second here or there could be the difference between Q3 and Q1, basically. So you only have to be a little bit off, and they were the right side of the divide every time in the early races. And lately, they've been a bit more in the middle, a bit more variable. So I think you're right; they're doing pretty well, but you expect them to kick on from the first part of the season, but it's just not going to happen because everyone's working on the new car, so it swings much more than it normally would.
We also had Bernie Ecclestone came out and was having a conversation about Zach Brown. And he said he talked to Zach Brown and he told him, you don't have a lot of talent. You're talentless, but you're incredible at hiring the right people around you. And honestly, that's incredible. And I could probably see that. He kind of looks like he's probably a great person to hang out with. He knows the right people. And he knows what his expertise isn't and is really good. And I think that also is a talent in itself. I think there are some people that are humble about what they're not good at. And there's a lot of people that just have this ego that they're like, I can fucking do it all. And then they suffer because they can't hire the right people. And I think that is a fair sentiment.
I mean, that, like you say, it absolutely is a talent in itself. Spotting people who are really good at their job and empowering them to do it in a really, really effective manner. I mean, everything Zach Brown's ever touched has become a great success. So his talent is being really bloody successful at what he does, that's good talent to have, I would say. He might not, and he drives quite well. He's like, Bernie's a weird dude. I mean, he was a weird dude when he was like running the show when he was 70, but now he's 132 or whatever he is. That he speaks some strange theories. That is for sure.
Yeah. We also have Liam Lawson has came out and said that he thinks Hadjar is ready to step up to Red Bull. And I was like, it looks like a compliment. But is he just hoping he goes there and fails so that he feels better about himself? I think it's more that.
100%. Yeah. And he wants him out the car because he keeps beating him. So he wants a slower teammate.
Yep. Yeah, he wants a slower teammate, and he's probably heard so much about how great Hadjar's doing and blah, 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 that he's like, yeah, go for it. Let's see what happens. That's funny, though.
Also, Hadjar in the last 4 races has scored more points than both Leclerc and Lewis.
He's crushing, man.
Which is fucking wild. You're in the Red Bull seconds car.
And it'll be fascinating too, because next year the cars are like literally brand new. So all these habits and all these development paths they've taken that have followed Max's lead effectively should be gone. The DNA of the car, there might be little bits that hang around, but it's completely different rules. So it might well be a really benign, good, easy to handle car. And if it is, I think he'll be pretty close to Max. He's not going to beat Max, for sure.
Exactly. That could be cool.
Yeah, and I think the differences are more likely to be big in terms of the spread. So even if he was 0.3 off Max, which at the minute puts you like 15 places behind it, it might be that that's enough to be one place behind or two places behind, because the cars are naturally going to be a bit further apart with this new rule set to start with. So, I mean, it seems like it's inevitable unless Sonoda suddenly just has a run of incredible races. But yeah, I hope it's not too soon for him. I hope it's not, because it would be a shame if all of this incredible rookie year fell apart, like instantly.
I feel like he'll be okay as long as they don't do it this year. Let's just ride it out. Don't do anything crazy for a couple races that do not matter with a different car than it's going to be next year. Like, I think he'll be okay if he's able to test and do everything after the season's over. But if they throw him in there this year, might be an issue.
Too much.
Yeah. So we have another. I'll preface this as this is a rumor because I couldn't find anything solid. But the rumors are that Lando has broken up with his girlfriend, and the internet is calling. Yeah, the internet is calling for Oscar to also break up with his girlfriend to keep it fair within McLaren. Just to keep it fair. I think it's like, it's
swap.
Yeah, they need to. They need to swap girlfriends. I think it's the only way. The only way to fix this. Guys. It's going to be a Red Bull. I mean, a McLaren call for sure. You got to dump your girl.
Got to swap positions.
Yeah, and that is really it with the gossip that I have found.
That's actually really funny. What about you? Have you heard about the Cadillac? Seem to be getting all the headlines, don't they, at the minute? But have you heard about the IndyCar driver? Yeah, which is really cool.
I think that's cool. And you mentioned before they brought on an Indy driver, Colton something. Is that it? And he's like their test driver at Cadillac. But Jeff, you had mentioned you thought it'd be so cool to bring in an Indy driver before they had their lineup, just to kind of see that crossover. So I do like that there's at least a little nod to it, and they're pulling from an Indy guy. And
so basically, so it's Colton Herta, who's been super fast in IndyCar, but a bit erratic. So when he looks good, he looks really, really good, but he's a little bit erratic. But everyone who's worked with him says he's super talented. He raced against Lando, I think, in probably British F3, and I think he came third, and Lando won the title. But the really interesting thing is he earns a ton of money racing in a top level team in IndyCar, which is Andretti Motorsport, who also are going to be in charge of the Cadillac thing. So not only is he moving across as test driver, but to get the points for the super license, a bit like Max needed his points for the ring, he's going to step down to Formula 2 for a season. So next year, not only is he's giving up this big IndyCar Premier Series in the US, big money contract, and he wants to be in F1 so bad that he's stepping down to F2 in order to gain enough super license points to hopefully replace one of the older guys who, Perez or Bottas when they're done, which I think is ballsy as hell.
Yeah.
He's 25 years old.
I was going to say, how old is he? He's a young guy.
Yeah, he's still young. I mean, 25 is still pretty young, but he's going to be racing against, 17, 18-year-olds, isn't he, in F2? He has raced a bit in Europe, so he knows some of the tracks, but he's going to probably have a slight disadvantage in terms of track knowledge to some of these guys who will have been just pounding all the European circuits since they were God knows how old. And I just think the draw of F1 is that strong that he will walk away from Indy, all that, that big money with the dream of F1. Fair play to Colton Herta for doing that. I think that's a really cool thing to do.
That is cool.
Yeah. That'll be cool. We also have Adidas partnered with Audi. So that's cool. I think Adidas always makes the best merch when they combine with someone. So I'm pretty cool to see that. And I've always been previous to me having an electric car, every car I've ever owned was an Audi. It's probably my favorite brand of car. The RS wagon is my dream car.
They are cool.
Oh fuck, they're so rad.
I feel like you two might need to buy petrol cars again, really, to be part of this podcast. It feels wrong that you're both in electric vehicles.
Yeah, I agree.
I know you're both Elon Musk fans, but, you might need to give up the Tesla situation.
Well, when Matt was talking about his valet thing, I was thinking you got to get the self-driving because I've done that at a valet. Like there was no one there at the thing. And so I just drove like at a hotel. And so you can summon your car and it just comes. And I didn't know where it was parked. It was back behind the building, but it was close. So I just summoned it and it drove itself right around to me and I got in and left. So there's some perks to having it.
You can avoid from paying at valet. You just summon it up, and they can't do anything about it. That's genius, actually. I just don't use the self drive, so I know you use it. I had it for the first 3 months of a trial, and I was like, I don't use this.
So you use it just driving about LA?
When we do like little stuff like going to baseball or grocery store or whatever, no, because it's too much stop and go, and I want to maybe I want to make a light or I want to get in another lane. There's too much. Anything that's further than that, if I have to get on the freeway, I use it every time.
Does it not stress you out? Whenever I've done it, I'm like more stressed about is it going to crash me too than I would be just driving.
I was at first. It's weird. It's weird to just do nothing. I mean, cruise control is one thing that I'm used to since I was 16, but this is like you do nothing and it changes lanes and does all of it. And so it took a little bit, but now if it let me, I'd sleep. For sure.
Are you for real?
Yeah, I don't care. Also,
and it never makes any errors. It never feels like it's going to do something.
It sometimes does.
I haven't had like an emergency. I'll turn it off if there's like construction or cones that are coming up that make me nervous. Like, ooh, I wonder what's it gonna do here. So I've done that, but I've never had any like emergencies where I had to grab the wheel and fix it. So
crazy.
I don't know. But I would. Also, there's plenty of shitty drivers, regular human drivers. So I kind of like, well, at least this computer has like a algorithm. It's figuring out something versus some idiot that's just a shitty driver. So I don't know. I trust it. And we have Waymos. You know Waymo. I guess you don't have them, but we have those self-driving.
We don't have them. Yeah, I've seen them. Ubers. I've seen them when up. Are they in LA now? They're in.
Yeah, they're everywhere. There was one pulling up in the valet yesterday, just before I was going to get my car, and I started to have another anxiety attack because I was like, man, this could go wrong. Like, I don't know, because it was a crazy valley because everyone's leaving to go to the Emmys, and it's pulling up in there, and I'm like, it's going to get anxiety and just stuck, but it was fine. It just pulled right through.
Yeah, I've heard they're great. I haven't taken them, but Eric has done a couple of them, and I know a couple other people that have taken them, and they said they're great.
But we need jobs, guys. We need jobs for humans.
Nah.
Machines take it all over. Yeah.
I still haven't used the AI. I'm going to at some point adopt trying to do the AI. But I still haven't done it. I did some translation. That's it. But I'll try it. It's hard, you know. When you're an artist at heart, Charlie, it's hard to adopt all this new technology.
Fair.
Oh my God. Yeah. True art.
Okay, so Baku coming up. I guess it is P10 time. Matt's always the guy, so let's leave him till last because it seems unfair because he probably knows already who's going to win. What do you think, Charlie?
All right. For P1, I'm going to go Leclerc.
Nice.
And for P10, it's tricky because I think it's really going to be like P15 with 5 DNFs in front of them. So that's going to be, we'll go Hulkenberg.
Nice. Yeah, he could do with a good result, I think. Okay, well, I'm going to go Max for the win because I just feel like he's on a roll and he's going to be coming off of his excitement of the Nürburgring and they were so fast in Monza. So I'm going to go Max to win. 10. This is tough. I think I'll go Alonso because even when he qualifies really well, he just seems to have a bit of a weird, something goes wrong in the race and he always ends up backed up in traffic. And so I'm going to go Alonso P10.
Okay, I'm going to go Oscar. I'm also predicting a 1-2 finish. I think it's going to be Oscar Lando. I think they're going to secure it. P10. I think it's going to be Lawson. But kind of like Charlie, I think Lawson's actually going to get 12th. And there's going to be 2 DNFs ahead of him.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about Lawson when I made my prediction. But yeah, it's so hard to say. And that's what's good about it. Like, and we literally had a big crash on the last lap of the race last year. So there's reason to stay tuned in, which is super cool. There's that huge straight, so there should be some good DRS dive bombing action. Very much looking forward to it. So, okay, well, it's a short one this week just because no racing, not a huge amount of news. But we are very excited about Baku. We will be back after the race. But until then, remember, party mode is not just for Q3, it's a way of life. So until next time, keep it pinned.
See you guys.
Bye.